Greetings, Rigil Agateiades here, and once in a blue moon we're on an actual Gundam. Except it doesn't quite look like one. In fact, it doesn't even look like anything from the Gundam universe at all. This is the mobile suit whose entire design is like building a LEGO Millennium Falcon from a magical unicorn set. The 550 cost General type, mass production type Zeta Gundam. As the supposed project to produce a cheaper version of the Zeta, the Rigil. This mobile suit was designed by stripping away all the transforming parts of the Zeta. At least that's what they claim to have done, because there's not a single part left from the original Zeta on the outside. It even looks wider than the original Zeta, which is questionable. That may be sad news for Zeta Gundam fans out there, but for Zeonic remnants like me, that just makes it easier to accept, and so to me, that's a good thing. In fact, I quite like how this mobile suit works. This watered down Zeta Gundam is mostly a ranged mobile suit, but to really understand the unfair skills it got as a post-Perfect Gundam 550, we first need to quickly go through its weapon, starting with the discharge mode on the Mega Beam Rifle. Taking 5 seconds to charge, this mini death laser only comes with a normal stagger, but with 35% stagger for 5 ticks, stopping power isn't a problem. And with up to 4,500 damage per tick and piercing, is guaranteed to leave a strong impression on enemies' hit. Stand down to charge our shot outside our enemy's sight, and that's a double hit for 6,000 in one go. Only if we didn't miss the Stealth Jäger earlier, otherwise it would have been a 10,000 health advantage with this weapon alone. That's the weapon we'd like to start with every fight, but of course we must not forget about the normal fire mode on this Mega Beam Rifle. With an instant stagger and 400 meters range, this main weapon is as simple as it can get. The 5-second cooldown is also short enough, making it a reliable weapon in any situation. Those are the two main weapons on the mass production type Zeta Gundam, but on their own, they're not particularly strong yet. What we need to do is to pair them up with the mobile suit skills. Starting off, we have the skill with a very long name, the Dual Moment Vernier Stabilizer Control. As the replacement to the Wave Rider form on the Zeta, the mass production type Zeta Gundam enters this special form after holding forward thrusters. After accelerating for 1.5 seconds, this mobile suit gains an impressive 30 thruster speed, the effect of maneuver armor level 1, and most importantly, the ability to fire the main weapon on thrusters. Thruster forwards and you can get a stagger on someone while preventing staggers on yourself, connecting perfectly into an infinite melee combo with the two melee weapons. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Yes, strategically, this is identical to defensive shot on the notorious Perfect Gundam. Good news for everyone else, this skill is a lot less unfair for a couple of reasons. First of all, Dual Moment Vernier Stabilizer Control needs 1.5 seconds to kick in. This means the effect of maneuver armor takes time to come online, so it doesn't help when you're in a pinch. The second weakness is that it only works when you're thrustering forwards. Tap on forced injectors and you have to charge up that 1.5 seconds again. Most importantly, maneuver armor level 1 isn't that hard to stop, unlike the full protection of an unbreakable shield. Now that I think about it, the Perfect Gundam really went a bit overboard, don't you think? Unlike the Perfect Gundam, however, this isn't the main plan of the mass production type Zeta Gundam, because even with two melee weapons, this watered down Zeta Gundam is all about ranged attacks. To dish out damage on the mass production type Zeta Gundam, we need one more weapon, the double waist-mounted beam gun. While it comes with really high stagger accumulation, what we mostly use it for is damage follow-up. With 600 damage per hit and firing 2 shots at once, fire it until it overheats and you get 4,800 damage in no time. Finally, with the skill Pursuit Ranged Auxiliary Program, this mobile suit does 15% more damage against downed enemies with ranged weapons, so that's 5,500 in one down. Starting with the Mega Beam Rifle Discharge, get it down with the Dual Moment Vernier Stabilizer Control and a normal shot, then finishing up with the waist beam guns will get you around 10,000 damage. That's a lot, but doing so will overheat both weapons. This is where probably the most important skill on the mass production type Zeta Gundam comes in. With the skill thrust-based fire cooling system, while this mobile suit is on thrusters, the heat gauge recovery of these weapons are increased by 20%, and the overheat recovery increased by 50%. This means the more thrusters we use, the more we can fire the strongest weapons on this mobile suit. Together with dual moment vernier stabilizer control, this mobile suit needs a lot of thrusters. To help this, thrusters are the top priority when setting this mobile suit's custom pass, then a mix between range attack and beam defense. Teammates called for help to defuse the bomb, but unfortunately, this mobile suit has no weapons with a blast radius, so we won't be of much help. Instead, we go for the rest of the enemy team to try and tie the points. Now we have to be on the offensive, but that doesn't mean you can be reckless on the mass production type Zeta Gundam. With stagger reduction only during dual moment vernier stabilizer control, the moment you miss the normal stagger on the beam rifle, you have to give up on the attack. The skill also doesn't cover the discharge mode, so you have to take care not to have your charge interrupted when using that to start instead. With plenty of range, fighting without grabbing everyone's attention isn't that hard to do. By using the waist beam guns as follow-up instead of the melee weapons, we save our thrusters for after our enemy recovers from the down, giving us the effect of maneuver armor while they're invincible, and actively reducing the cooldown of our weapons. If you're in a situation where you need to stagger from the waist beam guns, you can also choose to use the melee weapons as follow-up instead. You should start with the normal beam saber in that case, as the long cooldown on the long beam saber will prevent you from landing a third down attack. One last kill from our team gives us the score advantage we need, and now is just keeping everyone alive. We easily put a stop to the Psychommu Doga, but without actual transformation, we can't get to the second floor. Big detour to take the stairs takes all the remaining time, but nobody clowned at the end, so it's a close win for us. That was the mass production type Zeta Gundam, the Gundam that neither plays nor looks like a Gundam at all. It may play differently from most mobile suits with the two unique skills, but once you're used to them, it's not that hard to pick up. Dual moment vernier stabilizer control is basically a simplified transformation attack, and thruster-based fire cooling system is just a matter of habit. If you want a general type at 550 that doesn't put you into the middle of the heated mess, this is the mobile suit for you. That's it from me today, and latest.